So in this question, we have some logical connections. So just let's discuss some of them in general first, and then we'll go and look at the question. So whenever you are given a condition of this sort, that if A happens, then B happens, it means what exactly is that whenever A will happen, at that point you can say B will also happen. For example, if says if Mayank is there, then Naina would be there. So you will have to assume that whenever Mayank comes, Naina comes. It does not mean that whenever Naina comes, Mayank comes. So understand, and that's a common logical mistake in which you can get trapped. These two sentences, if A then B, and A and B happen together, are different. First one means if there is A, there will be B, but not the opposite. That when there is B, A may or may not be there. May or may not. He may be there or he may not be there. While the second one means that if A is there, B will be there, and if B is there, A will be there. So that's a difference between when you write sentence like this versus this, and many times questions are created to trap you in this gap. If A then not B is similar. If A is there, then B would not be there. Okay. Here you can also assume actually the opposite if you think through it. If B is there, would A not be there? The condition exactly doesn't justify that. But if you think through it, if this were to happen, that if B is there, A is also there, then the first condition itself gets is not satisfied, right? So here it will work the opposite way also. To think through a bit. At least one of A and B happen. What does this mean? So there would not be a case where there is neither A nor B. एक तो होगा ही, at least one has to be there. It will be either be A or it will be B or it will be both A and B. Both is also allowed, but at least one has to be there. Either A or B must happen. So here we are saying that not having A and B is not possible. So this condition is not possible that neither A nor B is there. But it says either A or B. So only one of them would be there. So there will either be A or there will be B. Both will not be there. And same way, if it's written A and B can never happen together, what it is saying is that A, B, both will never be there. It can either be A, it can either be B, or it can either be none of these. None of these is also a possibility. But both cannot be there. So this is not possible. So just read through it, think through it in your mind, and you will get some clarity on what is to be deciphered when. You don't need to learn or anything. When you read the sentence, it should come to you. But be careful of such things. If A then B is not the same as A and B happen together, and so on. Now let's look at the question. So we are given similar constraints, some of them similar constraints, and then we have to answer questions based on certain conditions. First one I won't do because it's fairly straightforward. Uttam is not selected. Who among the following must be selected? I think there is a condition which is very much along the same lines. Exactly one of Kavita and Uttam must be selected. So if Uttam is not selected, Kavita must be selected, right? So and there might be other stuff, but I won't spend a lot of time on the first one. Let's look at the second and third one. So the second one states that if only two women are selected and Srujan is not selected, who among the following will always be there in the team? So Srujan is a male who is not selected. So Srujan is not selected. We are also given a condition that where is the condition? Exactly one of Rahul and Vineet can be selected. So one out of Rahul and Vineet will be missing out. And we are given that the 5 selections include 2 women and 3 men. So we already know which 2 men would be losing out. Srujan is not selected, and out of R and V, one guy would be missing out. So U and Z are definitely in. U and Z are definitely selected. So we know that Uttam and Zayad would definitely be selected. If the condition otherwise also states if Srujan is not selected, then Naina must be selected. So Naina is also in. So Uttam, Zayad and Naina are definitely selected. And then we have a condition, if Jayad is selected, then Malini must be selected. So Jayad is selected, so Malini should also be selected. So we know that these 4 people have to be selected. And that would give you the answer. Uttam, Zayed, Malini and Naina, all 4 have to be selected. Let's look at the final one. Final one, it says 3 women are selected. Which of the following is true? So 3 women will be selected, 2 men will be selected. One of the men's would be R versus U. We know that R versus V, because the condition selects that exactly one of Rahul and Vineet can be selected. So one will be selected. And then let's look at the conditions. And you can look at the condition and then try and go through this, because otherwise you won't be able to analyze a lot. So if you see the second one, which is the correct answer, if Uttam is selected, Naina is selected. Can we say something about that? Let's say Uttam is selected. So now Uttam has been selected. What are the conditions around that? If Srujan is not selected, Naina must be selected. So that is true, right? One person from R and V will be selected. Uttam has been selected. So Srujan and Zayed won't be selected. And when Srujan won't be selected, Naina has to be selected. So from here you can say if Uttam is selected, Naina is selected. We'll have do such questions in the future also to give you more practice of such things. This was not a great example though, because I thought some of the conditions were not very properly written. We'll do some better questions of this sort in the near future. Thank you.